Hey everybody, Andy Timmons here. Welcome back to Melodic Muse, my column for Guitar World. We're going to continue looking at my song Winterland from the Theme from a Perfect World record. So here is the chorus. So let's dig into playing the chorus of Winterland. It's all solidly in the key of D major, so let's make sure we know what the harmony is. It's D major to A major, B minor to G major. There's no new ground being broken here, folks, but these are great chords. I highly recommend them. And then B minor again. And then the little channel after implies, E minor, D over F sharp to C. And that leads back to F sharp minor for the next verse. But here we go. So it's another one of those things where it's a simple melody. But I'm doing my best to, thinking of the power trio kind of situation. I want to support that the best I can and find ways of making it just even a bigger sound. So even that tonic note, that first melody, I can get the open D string, which of course is handy in this key. So I'm kind of using that low, not low, but the open D string as a kind of a pedal point. Two notes played together there. See how I'm playing it? So I'm just adding that D in between the melodic notes. Tuning up a little bit. So the next melodic target is the C sharp, which of course is over the A chord. So handily, we've got that open A string. And the next few melody notes. So the same kind of device where I'm supporting the melodic notes with just the roots of the chords, and that fills out the sound. The bass has got it covered, but now it's almost like a rhythm guitar playing along with the melody. So as I go for me melodically, it's a little unusual in that it's a half step bend from that F sharp to the G in a release. Makes sense melodically though, but as we're analyzing, I go, well, that's kind of quirky. It's kind of bending from the F sharp, the sixth, to the flat seventh of that A chord. So there's the third, but just in the key goes down to that B. So. But because I'm headed towards that B minor, I'm going ahead and using the open E and sometimes the B, just for a little noise. I like that kind of adding to the drama. And the next melody note's B, so I just play a big old B5 power chord. And there, because it's the B minor, the melodic content's happening on the G string. Why not add that B there to kind of add to the, all that kind of you know, harmonic tension and release. So melodically, but at the end there, I'm adding the 2/10, so it's a, because we're heading into G major, and so I'm just adding, the melody is that C sharp to B, adding the E and D below it. You can kind of see the G major chord there. It's like going from A to do 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 do. Right. There's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of visual clues along the way too. If you not only think about the scales and the positions that the scales are in, but the chords that would be played in that area. I'm usually kind of, even though I'm not necessarily always aware of it consciously, but yeah, I'm seeing that D major, I'm seeing that A, or we're up here as that case might have been, and the B minors, and yeah. So it would have been a, I play the C sharp and then add the 10th below, you know, that E. I'm gonna slide it down. And then, for the first time, we have just really a single note melody speaking out. Hear a bit of that nice harmonic that just leapt out there. That's something I get more easily if I'm picking up underneath for whatever reason. I use these, I use a Dunlop Tortex, whatever it is, Jazz 3, 1.14. So it's, you hear that? If I down pick, it's always good to experiment just with a different kind of, well, obviously different picks, but also just the different ways of attacking the string. And I think it's something that kind of evolved naturally for me over time, in that on the treble strings, meaning specifically the B and the E string, I just always felt like I got more tone and a better sound picking underneath if you know, the passage would allow that. So and then that leads to a little bit of another U2-ish kind of interlude channel into the next, either going to the next verse or the guitar solo. So just hit a big low E string. One of my favorite guitar moments of all time is the solo in New Year's Day by The Edge and U2, where he just hits these 3 consecutive open strings, and it's just, to me, one of the most powerful things. It's one of the greatest songs of all time. So maybe there's a lot more U2 influence here than I realized, but I slide down the big pull down, and then open E, a harmonic E. Because the chords are E minor, D major, C major, so it's just E minor, then D major on the 7th fret, on the D, G, and B string. Now, so to get to something that sounds nice over the C, I'm going behind the nut on my traditional, guitar. If you have a locking tremolo, you may have to figure out another way of doing it. But I'm hitting then I'm bending that F sharp harmonic real slowly behind the nut. If I play that and then bend that B string, just push in slightly, there's a nice bit of tension that happens. It's an interesting harmonic. That got a nice lower harmonic on that one. So experiment with how quickly you do it. Fun stuff if you haven't messed with that behind the nut kind of thing. Now's a good time. All right. So along the way, and as I'm presenting this material and kind of analyzing it for you in real time, it's interesting. You know, definitely my goal always as a songwriter and an improviser is I want there to be a great melody. You know, there can be flash, there can be all these other elements, but at the core, it's the melodic content that really drives me to write and to improvise. But then, of course, you know, and that melody could work on any instrument. Somebody could sing that melody. A keyboard player could play it, a violinist. But man, the beauty and the reason why you're watching this video and the reason I'm playing this crazy thing is the guitar just has so much potential for all these other elements that can lift that melody and support that melody. To a very high and very, 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 you know, cool level. That's what we love to hear, right? So that's why, you know, when I point out the things about when I'm adding, even if it's just one note, you know, adding a low note for certain melodic content or open strings, any way that I could use the guitar to, you know, to the potential that it clearly has, and I'm just scratching the surface, you know. I always consider myself a beginner, and that's sincere. We're just trying to do the best we can with the knowledge that we have. But again, to hopefully support that melody in a way that, you know, I'm going to be able to carry this, you know, pull this off with the power trio, and what's going to. So after the Resolution record, I definitely started composing material with that in mind because I'd kind of reinvented the way that I was playing guitar by shunning all overdubs, which was then handy. Then I could replicate it live with a band without anybody going, man, I really miss those 18 rhythm guitar parts and keyboards and such. So I'm keeping that in mind. So again, some of these things are very simple, but I think the way they're being supported actually becomes quite challenging, and I hope you're getting a lot from these lessons.